Quite often I hear runners and running coaches say that the feet should move a bit like in a circle when you run, like a wheel going round like this. And you don't have to look for a long time on YouTube or on the internet as a whole to see pictures that looks about like this. But this is of course me running, where I have added the arrows for this video. I fully understand why coaches say this, because it can help runners to become more energy efficient in several different ways. For example, it becomes clear that the foot should not be pushed backwards too much. Instead, immediately after you finish your push-off, when the feet is about to lift the ground, it should very quickly go up and back, because if the foot goes too far backwards, it can both increase the risk of various running injuries and make running cost significantly more energy. So you don't want your feet to move backwards, as shown by this blue arrow, but more up and back like this white arrow. But I will return to on how all that works in another video. Just be patient. And in addition, feet that swing forward close to the ground costs more energy than if you have a good relaxation in the knee, in your quads, that allows the foot to swing up, which you can learn a lot more about in my video Lifting Your Feet Higher Costs Less Energy When Running, that you can find here on my channel. However, there are some really bad things about this instruction and the talk about the circular movement and the way of thinking about what your running should look like. First of all, it's not true. The feet do not move in a circle or like a wheel. They just don't. Let's look at how the feet moves when running. In the software I use for my 3D cameras, Motion Metrics, you can compare the runner's eye test with a number of Swedish elite runners who have been made into one summarized figure. You can see that figure running here. And here we can see what it looks like when they run at a pace of 5 minutes per kilometer, 8:02 per mile. Since the program draws out how the feet move, it is easy to see that it's not a circle at all. It's really not. And then we should remember that these runners lift their feet and knees much more and have a movement that resembles a circle very much more than most recreational runners at the same pace. So when people say that the feet move in a circle like a wheel, they are wrong. Well, at least at this pace. Because of course the size of the movement is different at different paces. The faster the pace, the bigger the movement. And here you can see what it looks like for the Swedish elite runners at different paces. The higher the pace, the more the movement looks like a circle. So if you usually run 10K under 30 minutes, the movement of your feet will at least start to resemble a circle. Of course, I have no idea how fast you ran, but I'm guessing that most people watching this video don't keep that pace very often, and not for a very long time. And before I tell you what the problem is with thinking that your feet moves in a circle, here are a few words from my sponsor, or rather quotes from runners that have tried my online course. And back to the problem with saying this technique instruction that the feet should move in a circle. When they have moved their feet to this point, they have only made half a circle. To make the full circle, they have to move their feet forward, like this. And as a result, they often end up extending their feet and landing too far in front of them. And as you know, overstriding is bad in several ways. They simply do not have the time to pull the feet under the body after stretching it forward to complete the circular movement. And I've seen this so many times. Here is an example from a runner I helped to improve his running efficiency. He had tried on his own to adjust his running technique to be more efficient. In particular, he had thought about two things: that he should land more on his forefoot and that his feet should move in a circle, like a wheel. He did exactly as I showed here. From this point, the foot moves forward to complete the circle. The fact that he also got the idea that you have to run on your forefoot, no you don't, meant that he, like so many others I have met, became a so-called toe dipper, which reinforced his overstride. The result of him trying to move his feet in a circle and the toe dipping was that he landed 21.4 centimeters, about 8.5 inches in front of his center of mass, marked by the big white arrow in this picture. Then I told him to not land so much on his forefoot, but more land on the whole foot, and not to let the feet move in a circle at all, but rather to go straight down from this point. Well, the foot will not go vertically straight down, but for many people it works very well to think that it should. The result of my two quick instructions was that he immediately, in the next test we did, he now landed 12.3 centimeters, 4.8 inches in front of him. The smaller blue arrow, which is significantly better and in the green zone that marks where it's good to land at this pace, which in turn led to shorter contact time, less braking forces and other things that affected his efficiency very positively. So it works a lot better to think that your foot coming up behind you, doing the half circle, then going more vertically straight down under your body, not making a circle. And I don't want to see any comments about the idea that the foot should move backwards when it reaches the ground for better push-off, a so-called pullback. That's just nonsense, and I will make a separate video about that so you can write your comments there. But if you still like the idea of your feet moving in a circle because it can feel like they do, you can of course continue with that. But instead of having the center of the wheel, the circle, directly below you, you can think that it should be slightly behind you, like in this picture. Not for all, but for many runners it works very well. Just slightly move the circle a little bit back. Just a tiny bit. As always, do as you please. I don't care. You can run on your head if you want to. I'm just here to tell you what I've learned over the years as a running technique specialist who has helped thousands of recreational runners and runners who have run the World Championship and the Olympics, and also made about 10,000 tests with my 3D cameras. So what do I know? Now I just want to say thank you for watching and see you in the next video. I really hope you liked that video, and if you did, you please click the like button and maybe also the subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos here on my channel. And if you are interested in my online course, you find all the information about that one in the description below.